Hello, Virgo. Happy birthday for you, Virgos. It's Virgo season. My name is Jai Gobind. This is your channel for grace. Thank you guys for being here, for subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. We are going to be going over some very powerful or major events in September in an astrological sense, and in which houses this is going to be affecting you on a personal level. I actually did a whole video on the astrology for September, the September 2019 astrological forecast. Make sure you watch that video because I go into detail about these events, but here I'm going to be in a more general sense how it's affecting you, in which house it's happening. So once we get through that, I'm going to do a tarot reading. I'm going to pull some cards, and that's going to be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So let us get started. We start the month off with a bang with, that sounds funny, with Sun conjunct Mars in Virgo. This is happening in your first house. This is like who you are. Your drive is for you. This drive, this high energy, this perseverance to pursue your goals, this kind of like almost like aggression to move forward is with having to do with your identity, with who you are, with how you identify yourself as, and how you express yourself in the world. So you're going to want to better yourself. This is what's so powerful about this month for Virgos. You're going to want to make yourself better, and to organize yourself better, to do things in your life better, which is like, that's so cool. It's like a kind of like a self month. Like, I'm going to focus on me, this month. On the 3rd, we have Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Venus conjunction, also in Virgo. So it's like the Virgo party, I've been calling it. All of these planets are in communication, and they are adding now you're going to be able to think a lot more clearly, because Mercury is going to be all of these planets are going to be in your sign of Virgo, but Mercury is going to be in your sign as well, which is the ruling sign of Mercury. So you're going to feel at home. You're going to feel really good. You're going to feel like you can think clearly. You're going to be like in your freaking element this month. I love that. On the 13th, we have a full moon in Pisces, which is going on in your 7th house of relationships. So there's going to be a huge emotional release that's going to happen with that full moon. The moon is going to be making aspects to this Sun, Mercury, Mars, Venus conjunction, to Jupiter, to Uranus, to Neptune, to Pluto, and to the North Node, which essentially means there's a lot going on. I'm going to be doing a video just on that. But and so stay tuned for that, so you can see really how this is going to affect everybody as a collective. But right now, just know that the 7th house is the house of relationships. So a full moon in Pisces in your house of relationships is going to be affecting your relationships. You might get very emotional during this time. You might have a lot of reflection about your relationships, and not just that, not just relationships that are partners or lovers, but also relationships that are business relationships. There's going to be sort of an emotional clearing that goes on this day for all of us. For you, it's going to be in your relationships house. So we'll see what happens, right? On the 14th, so 9 hours after that, the Mercury and Venus move into Libra. And when this happens, they're going to be at 0 degrees of Libra. They're going to be conjunct, and they're going to be making an aspect to Chiron, which is an opposition. This day is going to be a very challenging day for a lot of us. This is going to be happening in your 2nd house of finances, of the materialistic world, of the value of the materialistic values. And with Mercury and Venus in Libra, we want to communicate clearly. We also want to, it's a lot about relationships, because Venus is ruled by Libra. So we want to cooperate with people. There's an energy of cooperation. You may even be like working together with people on certain projects during this time. But with the Chiron opposition, which is in your 8th house of death, sex, and money, but it's money that's other people's money. It's like inheritances, or money that other people give you. It's not the one that you make yourself, like it is in the 2nd house. But in this house of death and endings and beginnings, Chiron is going to be pulling you towards endings and beginnings. So you're going to want, what we're going to feel collectively is healing our wounds of feeling like we're not good enough, and also feeling wounded in our ability to communicate, to be able to express ourselves. Painted with this Libra energy of family cooperation. And normally that would be great, but we're going to be pulled towards uncovering the hidden emotional wounding that needs to be released and cleansed out. And this is almost like a clearing or a cleansing of your second house of finances. A very, very interesting combination. On the 18th, Saturn will go direct, and this will be in your 5th house of creativity. That's actually really freaking cool, you guys. Saturn direct is go time. It's like, let's get it done. It's the ambition turns on, your self-discipline turns on, determination turns on, and you're already feeling good. You already start this month feeling really freaking good. We go through that kind of emotional release and cleansing and healing with the full moon and the opposition to Chiron. But then Saturn goes direct and gets us right back on track. So it's like the clearing has to happen in order to proceed. That's what that means. And in your 5th house of creativity is so amazing because you're going to want to create. Your ambition is going to be to create something new, to, if you're already working on projects, to make sure you're like working on those, to put your effort into that. It's going to be very beautiful. There is a moment on the 22nd where that Saturn in your 5th house is going to be opposing the moon in Cancer in your 11th house of friendships. So the emotional pull will be to, I feel like I missed an event for you guys. Hang on a second. Yeah, I did miss one. But anyway, so I'll go over that in a second. But so that pull is going to feel like this kind of emotional pull, to be connected emotionally to your friends, to, you know, acquaintances and things like that. Or you're going to be feeling this like kind of shift, emotional shift. And then Saturn is going to make you feel like, here's all the things that you did wrong. And so it's going to be like, whoa, too much. I can't handle this. And you're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm doing a shitty job. I'm not doing a good job at this. I'm feeling wounded. I'm not able to basically do what I'm supposed to be doing. You're going to feel like giving up, like there's too many obstacles. But if you stay positive, you're going to be able to get through this transition pretty easily. On the transit that I missed is on the 17th. There's going to be, the moon is going to conjunct Uranus in Taurus, and it's going to be quincunxing Mercury in Libra, which is happening in, where is Taurus? So, well, this is happening in your 9th house of spirituality. Uranus is asking you to think differently and to feel differently. That's what it's doing. That's what this transit is. And it has to do with your spirituality. So you're going to be literally, I'm getting bit by like a fly. That's so weird. So you're going to literally be stepping into spirituality in a new way. Uranus is like, let's revolutionize this whole like spirituality thing. Let's make it happen. And let's create a whole new world for you when it comes to spirituality. So you're going to be thinking in a different way, and you're going to start to feel in a different way, like innovative ways of thinking and innovative ways of feeling. And then right after that, then that's when Saturn goes direct. So that energy is going to be epic for you because it's going to be in your 2nd house of finances, of making money, in your 9th house of spirituality. This is where you're going to start to think differently and feel differently. And then Saturn goes direct and your creativity is just going to fucking explode. Oh my God. I can't wait. On the 22nd, Saturn will be opposing the moon. And that's the thing that I talked about, that you're going to feel a little bit like giving up, but you just got to hang in there because you're doing so good. You're doing so good. And then on the 23rd, we switch into the fall. The fall equinox comes. It's the end of the summer. We start going into more of an inner journey. a reflection. This is more endings. This is happening also in your second house of finances. So there will be a transition. I feel like you're starting to make a big shift towards a whole new energy and a whole new way of like doing what you do. And we end the month with a new moon in Libra, which is about new beginnings, setting new intentions, and that's also in the second house of finances. There's so much going on for you in the second house of finances and money, you guys. Like, wow, that's intense. And the things that you value on a materialistic level, like that's the focus of you for this month. Like that's a lot. So let's burn a little Palo Santo, say a prayer, and create some sacred space so I can do a reading. But make sure you watch that September video because it'll give you more details about all of these transits. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, teachers, for being here with us, for clearing the energy of the cards, clearing the energy of me, opening up this sacred space, and creating a shield of protection around me to release and push away any energies that are not welcome in this environment. All right, we're going to pull an intuition card. Whoa. Overall challenge card, overall theme, and wisdom from the ancestors. Dang, this is quite the thing going on here. Let's pull an animal card, and then I'll go over all the cards that have just popped up for us. What animal is going to be guiding Virgo for the month of September on this journey, on this powerful journey of self, creativity, manifestation, spirituality, relationships, friends, death, endings, and new beginnings? One animal. Yes, the Phoenix. Okay. Lots of little sparks flying here. Queen of Cups is your intuition card. Do you see the dolphins in the picture? Because they're significant. Two of Swords, your challenge. The Hanging Man, or the Hanged Man, for your overall theme. And the Seven of Wands, interestingly enough, for the wisdom from the ancestors. And the Phoenix as the spirit animal that will be guiding you through all this. So, Queen of Cups. This is about mastering your emotions. Yes. This is a month, like, I feel like you're starting at this point. You're starting at this point where you've mastered your emotions. You're going to feel really good. You're going to feel like you're in the right place at the right time. You know how you feel. You're okay with how you feel. No one needs to validate you. You validate yourself. Like, this is where you start. This is your starting point. You move into this energy of the Two of Swords, which is that challenge between choosing where it is you're going to take your life. But I don't think this is a bad choice. I don't think this is something that you need to like be careful. Like, it doesn't have a negative aspect to it. What I really think it is you choosing like whether you want to you take your business or something this way, or whether you want to take your business like that way. It's not like choose between death and life. Like, it's not that kind of a choice. But you do feel a little bit like you're at a crossroads, and there is this energy of like, okay, what direction do we really want to go with our lives? What direction do we really want to take? And because a lot of this is happening in your second house of finances and what you value in a material way, this does have to do with business. You know, the money that comes in, like, how are you going to make the money that comes in? You're having to make a decision about which direction you're taking that. The universe is asking you to like really go within, do that inner journey and focus and let the messages come in. when you hold space for yourself, the answer will come. And the wisdom from the ancestors, this is what they're saying. You've been having to fight off all these energies that seem like they're attacking you. You've been feeling like, ugh, like I have to like protect myself, you know? But I feel like the reason that this is happening is because you're emanating such a freaking high vibration right now, being in charge of yourself, in charge of your life, in charge of your vibrations, in charge of your emotions, that the universe or people are getting attracted to you like this fly freaking landing on me and freaking biting me, right? That is so this energy. I'm like, get out of here, like get out of here, like get out of here, right? Like what is going on? That's literally how this feels. And so but you're swimming with the dolphins, baby. You're swimming with the dolphins. And you know what this card also reminds me of? This reminds me of freaking Atlantis, you guys. Look at that. The water, you know, the emotions, the dolphins, it looks like beautiful energy all around. She's holding this cup. She almost looks like the queen of the water or something, the mermaid queen. I don't know. Anyways, I'm feeling a lot of like messages popping in and out through all of this reading that are very powerful. The whole emphasis of this entire month for you, and I think what has been going on for you on a general basis, is the phoenix, the transformation, the death that brings the rebirth. And you're doing a great job. You just have to figure out which direction you want to go. You have to like quiet your mind so you allow the messages to flow in and the downloads to come in. You're already coming from a high vibe place of being grounded, and you have been doing this for far too long. So I feel like the minute you fully transition, I don't know if this is going to stop, but I feel like the minute that you transition, this is going to stop bothering you. There's going to be a big shift, and you're going to be able to like release and everything's just going to fall into place because you have done the work. The Phoenix. I hope that this reading resonated with you, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you again next month in October for your October of 2019 astrology and tarot reading. Satnam, you guys.